Coming up tonight on YCN News, Vermont Supreme Court ruled today that a person's genetic makeup cannot be collected from criminal suspects unless that person is convicted of a felony-level crime. New state and federal funds will help establish community-based mental health care centers in New Hampshire. And we'll hear about sailing and an upcoming event from the Lake Sunapee cruising fleet. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Friday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. We begin tonight's newscast with a traffic reminder. Summer weekend events in New England offer plenty to choose from, and this weekend is no exception. NASCAR race fans will head to Loudon, New Hampshire tomorrow for 2 Saturday afternoon races. The races will be held at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The Sunoco 100 NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour begins at 1 p.m. and the Stay Green 200 NASCAR Nationwide Series is set for 3:30 p.m. What this means for all motorists, race fans or not, heading to the Concord area is that traffic will be very, very heavy for the day and night, and heavy in both directions, north and south. The event is a major economic boost for the state. To learn more about the Speedway, go online to www.nhms.com. Advances in DNA technology are often viewed from both sides of the legal coin. The state's highest court in Vermont ruled today that a person's genetic makeup cannot be collected from criminal suspects unless the person is convicted of a felony-level crime. The Vermont Supreme Court issued its 3-2 ruling today, the Associated Press reports. Today's decision upholds earlier rulings by Vermont trial courts that it is unconstitutional to collect a DNA sample from a suspect just because he or she is charged with a felony. A 2011 state law expanded the state's DNA database to include taking genetic samples from a person charged with a felony. Now, the High Court's ruling says the person must be convicted of a crime before a sample is taken and kept on permanent file. It's another law now on New Hampshire's books, a law that required legal wrangling between the state and federal government and residents suffering from mental illness. House Bill 1635 now implements a settlement with these three entities. It took a lawsuit from plaintiffs to get mental health services, especially at the community level, to expand. Now, with $11 million in funds from state and federal sources, more money will go toward establishing community-based mental health care centers. Hassan cites these local centers as part of the compassionate care and treatment that people with mental health issues need and deserve. People who experience mental illness are our friends, our family members, and our neighbors, Hassan said after today's bill signing. They deserve the same level of compassionate care and treatment that we would expect for any other healthcare need, Hassan said. That compassionate care means having a mental health care system center where people can be seen as needed instead of being kept in a hospital. West Central Behavioral Health President and CEO Sue Ellen Griffin says the bill signing does not impact the operations of any of the state's 10 mental health care centers. It's not like the 10 centers will be given a bucket of money, each center receiving money divided up from the $11 million. Today's bill signing does mean there's money for new programs, new housing, and support to give people experiencing a mental illness crisis appropriate treatment instead of waiting in the emergency room of a hospital. In the media, a report of a suicide only takes place when it is of a public person or committed in a public place where others are likely or may have seen the act or attempt. There was such an attempt yesterday at the Saxtons River Bridge on Route 5 in Westminster, Vermont. Around 4:31 p.m., state and local police were alerted to a report of a woman holding on to the bridge. State trooper and members with the Bellows Falls Police Department responded, finding a despondent woman standing on the outside of the bridge railing, the highway below. After about an hour and a half police report, She was coaxed back from the railing, voluntarily agreeing to come back to safety. She was taken to Springfield Hospital for evaluation. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Joining me now from the boat launch in Sunapee Harbor is Bruce McCloy. We just had a major sailing event on the lake. Tell us about it.
Let's see, it was the Western Hemisphere Star Sailboat Championships. Star boats are a class of sailboats that are raced internationally. They race them, I don't know if they still race them in the Olympics, but they might. They're about 21 feet long, 2 people in the boat. They're purely racing sailboats. They're very hard to sail, very touchy. You have to really know what you're doing. And they had 3 days of unbelievably strong wind, and they all enjoyed it. They thought this was they were really impressed with Lake Sunapee. The Lake Sunapee Yacht Club did a great job hosting the event. We had the world champion here from the Star class. We had boats from South America and all over North America racing. I think there were 30 boats that started off. And it was a real opportunity for us to show off Lake Sunapee and for them to sail on a freshwater lake. You're right, most of the time they sail in the ocean. I think freshwater sailing is a little bit trickier because you've got a smaller body of water and you have to really play the wind and watch the wind on the lake, because when you're out in the ocean or out in a bay, the wind's pretty steady. But when you're out here on Lake Sunapee, depending on the direction of the wind and the mountains around the lake, one side of the lake could be better wind or the other side could be better. And I think there's a little bit more tactics racing on a small lake like this, which they really seem to enjoy for a change of pace. And a fella from Brazil won the whole thing. Well, there were quite a few local boats in the race. There was one boat, the Ivies, from the Lake Sunapee Yacht Club, actually finished second in a race that I saw out there on Thursday. I think they finished 9th overall, which was pretty impressive. A representative number of star boats from the whole Western Hemisphere. And then the Lake Sunapee Cruising Fleet is more of an on-paper organization. We organize most of the racing on the lake every Wednesday night for 14 nights during the summer, and then every other Sunday. We also have 3 end-to-end races, and we also host Sailing Day. So we're a really active group with sailing on the lake all summer. And, if people are interested in crewing or getting involved or getting their sailboat in the club, they can just go to our website, which is lscf.us, and you can get all the information on. You can become a social member. We have get-togethers every month at somebody's house on the lake as just for a potluck thing, and it's just a nice bunch of people that love to be out on the lake and love sailing, and we have a lot of fun.
This is a wonderful sailing lake. For the less serious, you have a more local event coming up.
Well, this year, the Lake Sunapee Cruising Fleet, we're hosting our 3rd annual sailing day on Saturday, July 19th. And what that is, actually, it's a fun day on the lake. It's not racing. And we call it a poker cruise because at 1 o'clock on Sunday, we're going to have our committee boat out by the entrance to the harbor here in Sunapee with balloons on it. And there'll be 4 other boats out on the lake with balloons on them. And you just come up, you sail up to the committee boat. It's free. Any sailboats are welcome, from sailfish all the way up to cruisers and 26-footers. And we will give you some course instructions and a playing card. And then you will sail to the other 4 marks, and at each of those marks you'll receive another playing card, and you'll have a poker hand by the time you're done. And then the Cruising Fleet, we're hosting a reception over here in Pete's Shed from 4 till 6. We're going to have free refreshments and prizes. We have lift tickets to Mount Sunapee. We have merchandise from some of the merchants here in town. We have all kinds of stuff. So we'll have a table of prizes, and we go down through the list, and you go up and pick your prize. And we also have a prize or prizes for the best themed crew costume. So we encourage people to dress up for this event, have a theme to your crew, dress in costumes, come out on the lake and just have a fun day, sponsored by the Lake Sunapee Cruising Fleet. Any sailboats are welcome. We've had sunfish all the way up to 26-foot sailboats. We do ask that you follow all of the state regulations for safety and have life jackets and all those necessary things on your boat. But there's no charge. We're going to have the committee boat out at 1 o'clock on Saturday, right outside the harbor of Sunapee here by the lighthouse. You start there and work your way around. It's maybe a 1.5 mile course, not too long. And it's all for fun. But one of our crew persons she's been crewing with us for 4 or 5 years on our sailboat on Wednesday nights, had never sailed. Her family had power boats on the lake, and she always looked out on the lake and said, "Boy, they look like they go so slow." So we took her out sailing and racing one night, and that changed her mind. She said, "Wow, we're going pretty fast, and this thing's tipping over." So she's a full-time crew person on our boat now, and comes out every Wednesday night. It's our third year. We had almost 20 boats last year, which was great. As I said, all sizes, all shapes. Just make sure you're wearing life jackets and following all the safety precautions when you're out on the lake, and you're welcome to come.
Wow, sounds like a fun day. If you love being on water, you won't want to miss this. An 81-year-old driver from Florida and her passenger are okay following a one-vehicle accident when the driver swerved the van to avoid hitting a deer. State police cited Eleanor LeClaire for a lane violation, though, when she drove the 2007 Dodge Grand Citation off the road and down an embankment Tuesday on I-91 North in Wethersfield. The road was dry and clear, the weather dry, clear, and hot, report police. The single-vehicle collision, due to its slide down the slope, damaged the van so much that it had to be towed from the scene. This weekend, Claremont's Sullivan County Humane Society invites you to take a journey to Austria, but you won't need your passports or plane tickets to get a taste of the exotic, because the Cornish Fairgrounds have just the event for all to enjoy some European marvels. Hermann's original Lipizzan stallions of Austria will be performing Saturday and Sunday to benefit the Humane Society, so YCN News took the chance to take a sneak peek of these rare white beauties. Let's take a look at our interview with the owner.
Hello, my name is Gabriella Hermann. I am owner of the Hermann's Royal Lipizzan Stallions, which will be here this weekend at the Cornish Fairgrounds. Hosting the event is the Sullivan County Humane Society. It is a benefit performance for them to raise money. We are touring the New England area for the last 4 years. We will be here Saturday and Sunday at 5:30 having the performances. It's a beautiful venue. The stallions have had a great time sitting here all week. We've been able to use their facilities to let our horses go out and run and be free up in their paddocks, which they really enjoy. The stallions think that they are in Austria with all the mountains and the beautiful countryside. Tickets are still available. There also will be tickets available here at the gate 1 hour prior to showtime. If you miss the event here this weekend, we will be in Swansea at the Cheshire County Fairgrounds next weekend. Those performances are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you'd like to know where the stallions are going, you can go to our website, that is hlipizzans.com, or you can Facebook us at Hermann's Royal Lipizzaner Stallions. Behind me we have Argentos with Rebecca showing you some of the movements, but the stallions are having a great time here in your beautiful countryside.
These stallions have been in the Hermann's family for 300 years, and now they've made the journey to the beautiful state of New Hampshire. Don't miss out on the rare chance to see their magical performance. Tickets will be on sale at the gate, $15 for adults, $12 for kids 6 to 12, and children under the age of 6 are free. You can meet and greet the horses before the show starting at 3 p.m., and the performance will start at 5:30 p.m. The City of Lebanon's gain is the City of Claremont's loss, according to Claremont City Manager Guy Santagate. That's because Claremont's Department of Public Works Director Bruce Temple is leaving the post he's held for 8 years to become Lebanon's Assistant Director of Public Works. Temple is expected to start his new job in August. The Lebanon Post pays more, even though the job title is lower in stature. Temple earns about $87,000. The Lebanon job pays about $100,000, the Eagle Times reports. The bells will toll tonight for the town of Unity, marking its 250th anniversary as a New Hampshire town. Numerous activities for all ages are planned for this weekend. To learn more, check out our Facebook page, where the weekend's lineup of the things to do, see, hear, and eat is posted. Another weekend event is marking not its 250th, but its 33rd year. The Prouty is an annual fundraiser and signature event of the Friends of the Norris Cotton Cancer Center. It's also New Hampshire's largest charity fundraiser. The two-day event includes biking, walking, rowing, and golfing, all to raise money to support services and research at the Dartmouth-Hitchcock Norris Cotton Cancer Center. More than 5,000 participants are expected. As you travel through Hanover and the Upper Valley this weekend, Keep an eye out for people traveling on two wheels or walking. Medical programs and support services benefit from the event. To learn more, check out www.cancer.dartmouth.edu. YCN News will bring you a follow-up story next week on the event. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now, Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next few days and then move on to sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tonight we'll have mostly clear skies with lows in the 50s and calm winds. Tomorrow we'll have a high of 84 degrees with winds around 5 miles per hour and sunny skies. Tomorrow night will be partly cloudy with lows in the 60s and winds at 5 miles per hour. Sunday we'll have a 50% chance of precipitation with thunderstorms possible before or after 7 a.m. Skies will be cloudy with winds up to 10 miles per hour and a high of 81 degrees. As you can see on our map, we are currently experiencing clear skies. However, on Sunday, thunderstorms are to be expected in our region. Now let's see what's coming up on our community calendar. Tomorrow morning in the Cornish, New Hampshire, and Norwich, Vermont farmers markets will take place at 9 a.m. The Windsor Vermont Public Library will host Tie-Dye Day tomorrow at 10 a.m., so bring your white shirts or other clothing to use. On Sunday, the Claremont Parks and Recreation bus will take you to see the long-tailed monkeys at the bandstand in Wilmette at 4:30 p.m. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. Now it's time to take a look at last night's Fisher Cats game, as well as future games. Thursday night, the Fisher Cats experienced a tough loss while battling New Britain. The score of that game was 4-0. Tonight at 7 p.m., the Fisher Cats are in Portland, ready to face them in a 4-game series. Also over the weekend, there will be a 5 p.m. game on Saturday, a makeup game after that. Sunday's game will take place at 1 p.m., and lastly, Monday's game will take place at noon.